Hi you guys, welcome back to my channel. If you'd like to see how I got myself together for this quick date night, please keep on watching. So I started off with the Rimmel London Stay Matte Primer. I did 2 layers of this and that's why my face looks so white. I went over this twice because I wanted to make sure it lasts all day. It was going to be 90 degrees and we were sitting outside. So I'm going to use the ABH concealer in Espresso. I'm going to put that all over my face. Brush it on and then follow up with a beauty blender. So I'm going to start with the Anastasia Beverly Hills Subculture palette. I used Roxy and New Wave as my transition shades. Then I went in with All Star and Fudge as my outer corner, and I blended that in with a regular brush first, and then I went over it with a blank brush. That is the key to blending, is to sometimes switch up your brushes. And then I used Electric and Cube for the inner corner. And don't let nobody fool you, you guys. You can find brushes all over the place. These brushes are from Amazon. They're super affordable. Some of my brushes are from Wet n Wild. You can get brushes at the dollar store. Sometimes it's all about the technique and not just the product. So again, I'm just going to use that fudge on the outer corner. And Electric and Cube on the inner. One thing I like about the Anastasia Beverly Hills is those iridescent shades. They are tricky, but they work with all different kinds of colors. And I'm just going to use Fudge as a wing. I didn't want to use anything too harsh because I did not want to use a liner. I'm just going to use a shadow as my liner. And then I'm just going to use the shade Cocoa in this Maybelline and just blend it in where I have those light spots. I always want to make sure that you can't really see through the foundation. And I like it because it has like a little orange to it, so it mutes out the grayness. Once I blend it all in, I'm just going to use the same brush that I use with my foundation. And then I'm just going to go in with that Maybelline concealer in the shade Tan. This is the Instant Age Rewind. I love this shade. It's not too light, it's not too dark. It's just, I feel like it's nice for my complexion. So if you're my shade or darker, try this one, and I guarantee you really will like this one. Now I have very dry skin sometimes, especially in the summer, so I try not to bake for long, but I just wanted to make sure that all those set. So I'm just showing you what I used. I mix those two together. I mix everything together and I literally just pack it on really quickly. I look like I am a cokehead warrior, but that's okay. Oh, okay, girl, get it together. So I'm just going to use that NYX mineral powder and brush away that. And I think that's the key for making sure you don't have flashback, is to brush it away with a color, because if you don't, sometimes it can add that flashback and it just looks terrible in pictures. So now I'm just going to go in with the bronzer. I use a dark foundation from Black Radiance in the shade Mahogany. I use it as my bronzer. Some people use it as a foundation. I feel like it's really good for a brown girl to, you know, look a little sun-kissed. And I'm just going to bring that shape back into my nose. I don't like deep contouring. I just feel like it's too weird. So now I'm just going to spray my face all over. This is green tea water with the Mario Badescu spray. Like I said, I mix everything together, and that's what I use to. I was clearly listening to trap music. Okay. Now I'm just gonna go with my brows. See, a lot of people start off with brows. I do not, especially when I'm using a powder, because it will definitely get lost. Your brows will definitely get lost. So you would have did all that work for nothing, and ain't nobody got time for that. So now that my brows are filled in, with a simple NYX pencil, I believe I used, I'm just gonna go in with a nice concealer. The key is to have a thick concealer. When you have thin concealers that are like watery, it doesn't really get the job done. And I like my concealer to match my complexion. I don't like it to be too light. That is too 2015. Nobody's doing that anymore. Make sure your concealer matches your color. It just makes everything look so seamless, blended, just perfect. And it looks very freshly done. I do not get my eyebrows done, so this helps it look like it's super fresh. Once the eyebrows are on and you put your concealer around your eyebrows, I like to blend it in. Some people just do that and go, and you can definitely tell that concealer is potent. So you want to just take a nice little brush, blend that thing together, put a little bit of your foundation on if you have to, blend that sucker in. You want it to look sculpted. And brush those hairs. Do not forget to brush the hairs. So I was on an anti lash mood. So I've just been using my natural lashes lately. I'm going to use this MAC highlighter, and this is in the shade Oh Darling. And I'm just going to use a dual fiber brush to blend that all in. I'm just going to mix my blushes, of course, right? That's what I do. So I'm using Raisin and Full Fuchsia from MAC. I typically only use MAC blushes. I don't know why. It's just like they have the best blushes that blend in with brown skin. And it's just, they're just so pigmented and they last forever. And usually whatever eye look I do, my blush has to match, and MAC has so many options. So now I'm just gonna take my head wrap off. I was making sure that my head, oh, okay, spraying my face again. I'm just gonna take my head wrap off. I was making sure that my hair laid down while I was doing my makeup. That is the key sometimes. Make sure your hair is laid. So I'm also going to do my lips, and I'm just going to use a gloss. I didn't really want any lipstick on. So that's just the e.l.f. Lip in Dolly, and it's super cheap. It's like $3. Can't go wrong with that, and it lasts a long time. So as I'm brushing out my hair, there's no secret that I usually wear units. I do not do sew-ins and stuff like that. Mainly protective styling, and for me, it's wigs. So I use the toothbrush to do my edges. Those are my natural edges. I like to leave them out. And I like to make sure that it seamlessly blends in. I use a simple gel, and I always make sure that the wig is always tilted all the way down, but just like a little bit to the back. But whenever I put on makeup, I always want to make sure that the front of my unit blends in with my skin complexion. So I'm just going to go in with a light powder, that NYX powder that I use to blend my foundation. I'm going to just put that right there on the little front of my closure just to make sure that it looks seamless. So, you know, no one can really clock you from afar. But thank you guys so much for watching. I'm going to try to do more videos like this. I appreciate you. Please like, share, and subscribe. And have a blessed one. Bye, you guys.